Welcome.
You are watching Line Screw 1. Well, hello tubers. I hope you're doing well wherever you are in this crazy YouTube universe. I got so many updates about the North Fraser Pretrial escape because dozens of staff are willing to, talk. It drives management absolutely crazy because they threaten them with their lives and their job, or it almost seems like the management thinks that they can behead the staff if they speak and use their charter rights to leak the information to me. But the reality is we have a serious corruption problem.
We start with the ongoing search for a gangland murder suspect who escaped from that Port Coquitlam jail. Police say he is dangerous and believe he may be trying to flee overseas.
And I think part of the issue of the corruption in the British Columbia correctional system, which I worked for, is that of all the great big cases, the vast majority are of non-Caucasian staff members. So you can see where I'm going here. The problem isn't that minorities are corrupt. It's just that they have a corruption with some of the minority staff members, and they don't want to touch it. It's politically incorrect to even go there, because God forbid, human rights discrimination. They've already paid out nearly $1 million to Mr. Francis. They screwed him over for years, made him fight for his own justice, and rightfully so, he won as a black man. And of course, he was not corrupt. He was discriminated against. There's a lot of discrimination and problems. And of course, what do they do to the people involved in that human rights tribunal where the guy won $1 million? They promote some of them and they don't fire them. They're all there. You can read the actual published judgment from the BC Human Rights Tribunal with the Francis decision. It's ridiculous. It's embarrassing. But they like to pretend, oh, who cares, who cares, who cares? We can keep bullying, harassing. But they have an escape of a very serious gangster involved in multiple murders, attempted murders.
This is the man police want to find. 35-year-old Rabih Alkhalil, also known as Robbie.
Alkhalil is very dangerous, and we are asking people not to approach and to call 911 immediately.
Alkhalil was being held at the North Fraser Pretrial Centre in Port Coquitlam, but Thursday night, RCMP say he escaped.
This guy is an international fugitive, was arrested in Greece, already convicted with a murder, on trial for another murder. His family, many of his brothers have already been killed for gangland violence. It's absolutely deplorable. Well, we can thank Cheema, the warden. He's the captain of the ship. So of course my charter rights of freedom of expression protect me for criticizing his decision making and how poor it is, and he wasn't very revolutionary in his visionary approach to stop this kind of stuff, because he could care less. He's just in it for his own career, and well, good for him. I say good for you, Cheema. Oh, you should be so proud of yourself. Oh yeah. But unless Cheema sends a death squad to have me killed, I'm going to keep talking. And I really doubt he has it in him to actually criminally harass me. I don't think he's got the balls to do that, because he'd kind of have to fall on the sword if he, resorted to that low level. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's going to take the high road and leave me alone. Let's hope so. But in the meantime, let's talk about the actual corruption. Okay, because I'm the guy for many, many years. I was the guy that actually screened the contractors that would come into the central control unit to do contract work, whether it be air conditioning or roof maintenance or anything in the building. And what you got to do is you punch the person up on the computer. Now, often it's people that are there all the time and you've checked them so many times you can actually clear them quick. But when somebody new that you've never seen before shows up, you got to check their name on the computer. And of course, management is so lazy and negligent, may I say, that often the contractor pictures aren't even on the computer file, but they have a name. So if a guy shows up and he's going to do some air conditioning work, and his name is Will Smith, let's say. Well, he presents some ID, even if it's fake. Well, he's cleared to go. Off he goes. Now, how do you know who's cleared? Well, only staff members who have access to that drive on the computer. It's not networked, it's only internal within the North Fraser Pretrial Centre network. So somebody who works there sold that information of who was on the approved list and then created fake pictures. And I'm gonna bet you dollars to donuts that there were no pictures on the drive for the names that were sold. So it begs the question of who on the staff roster that are sworn peace officers at the North Fraser Pretrial Centre, who sold those names that were on the approved contractor list.
With the help of two men posing as contractors. A source tells CTV News they cut through a perimeter fence using a plasma saw. And Mounties say this white van was the escape vehicle.
And in fact, I have contractor information. I have contractor information that those guys that busted him out of prison were there before. Yeah, because they were getting familiar with the system, familiar with the layout of the land, familiar with how to break their gangster friend out of jail. Yes, they were. It's ridiculous. It's an actual farce. And Cheema, you're responsible. You should hide your head in shame when you go shopping in Surrey. You should, because if I ran into you, I'd heckle you. Yeah, I wouldn't harass you or follow you, but I'd heckle you. I'd go, hey, Cheema, nice work on the escape. Yeah, I'd do that. And in fact, if you actually are a former member and you run into Cheema, you should probably give him that little jab in the rib, say, nice work on the escape. Who's your corrupt staff member that you can't find? Yeah, so I know the protocol. I was the guy that did it for probably more hours than anybody else for a long time. So somebody sold the information on there. And on top of that, they actually had, on top of that, they found cell phones with that same gangster and a few others. They had narcotics and steroids that were smuggled in with cell phones. Now, I don't know about you. You might not be an expert on prison security, but I'll tell you what, when an actual cell phone or cell phones are smuggled in, it's generally by staff, and it definitely helps to facilitate an escape from a maximum security Canadian facility. And that's exactly what happened. So who's on the take, Cheema? Now the funniest comment, now I'm not making this comment, this is just me reiterating a comment that somebody else made. The funniest comment I ever got on any of the actual videos that I've done is somebody told me, they said, hey, you should get an actual some pictures of the reno of the warden's house before and after the escape. I thought that was hilarious. Now, I'm not suggesting that Cheema's on the take, not suggesting that at all. I'm just suggesting that that comment was hilarious, but it does speak to who is on the take. So Cheema, it's your job to start going after the dirty staff, whether they're low-level managers under you, your lieutenants, or they're correctional supervisors, acting correctional supervisors, or just low-level COs who have access to that drive. Because I guarantee you don't care, and I guarantee you're never going to find those people are that are corrupt. They're going to keep bringing in drugs. They're going to probably even bring in handguns. Maybe one day one of your staff members are going to be killed. And it's not going to be very funny now, is it, Cheema? No, because you need to do your job, Cheema. And I don't know what's wrong with you. I really don't know what's wrong with you. And I'm going to keep talking about you and your incompetence and your corrupt staff. And I'm going to say this right now. Most of your staff are very honest, and you are damn lucky to have them, but you have a small number of very corrupt staff, and you are doing nothing about it. You should fall on the sword and resign. That's what you should do, because you can't fix the problem. And if you can't solve the problem, you should move on. You are the captain of the ship. You are the warden. You are responsible for everything that goes on there. And you're doing nothing about it. And you're hiding from the media. Hiding. And I'm the only voice out there speaking the truth, leaking this information. And unless you kill me, I'm going to keep talking about what is going on. The bullying, the harassment, and the corruption. It needs to stop, Cheema, and you need to stop it now. You know it, but you're embarrassed because you know you don't give a shit. That's it. That's all I got to say tonight, folks. In the meantime, folks, stay safe. Keep your wheels in the ground. I'll talk to you soon. Over and out.
This video shows the 2007 escape of Omid Tavili. He bribed a security guard to let him dress up as a janitor and walk out. Tavili has never been found. Mounties hope they have more luck with this suspect.
I got you.